Hello everybody and welcome back for some weekly VR news where I keep you up to date on everything going on in the VR industry, prepare you for this week's new releases, and then focus in on a few major stories. Today, we're discussing how the Quest version 49 update introduces features that are way overdue, but it's still not what we need or want right now. Additionally, there's a handful of new titles releasing, Microsoft is killing off Altspace, we got an extremely impressive launch lineup for the PlayStation VR 2, plus some more rumors on the upcoming Apple VR headset. Now there are of course links and timestamps if you want to skip ahead, but before we jump in, this video is sponsored by Kiwi Design, one of my favorite sites for VR accessories. They recently released some new Quest 2 headphones that promise to pack some extra bass and increase your audio experience. They currently have my favorite Quest 2 Elite strap with battery pack, and there's plenty of other accessories like enhanced controller grips, replacement facial covers, link cables, and much more. There's a link down in the description, and don't forget to use discount code Mateo311 for 5% off and to help support this channel. Okay, so let's start this video off like normal with upcoming new releases. First up is Not For Broadcast, which puts you in charge of the national nightly news. This is a live series, so you're in charge of bleeping the curses, keeping the cameras on the celebrities, and making sure the audience remains hooked to their TV screens. It's a chaotic experience filled with a bit of dark humor, and now you'll finally get to experience it on your Quest 2. This title originally released on flat screen a year ago, and has overwhelmingly positive reviews. Now our next new release is a unique puzzle title called Silhouette. You'll use hand tracking controls to create shadows, and solve 28 unique puzzles, all while traveling through tranquil environments, filled with a nice cozy soundtrack. Now I'm not usually one for a puzzle game, but the sheer uniqueness of this title definitely has me intrigued, and I'm gonna give it a shot. Now we also got the release date of another classic VR title that's finally making its way onto the Quest 2, and that's Windlands 2, which will be dropping on February 2nd. This is a grappling hook exploration title that you could experience in both single player or online co-op. You'll be soaring above the ruins of a fallen world, battling gigantic titans with a bow in hand, and trying to save the world from an ancient danger. Now this title originally released over 4 years ago on PSVR, but it's still worth checking out on Quest, especially if you're looking for a co-op title. Now, if you prefer intense fighting games, Halfbrick just gave us some update information on Thrill of the Fight 2. If you were unaware, this game's already been in development for quite some time. The studio is focusing on player feedback to make sure the new title is exactly what we want, and that includes multiplayer modes, one of the most requested features. While there's no new footage or official release date here, it's just nice to hear the studio talk about their game with so much passion, and I'm really excited to see their final product. While I do spend a lot of time discussing how VR needs more AAA style games, there will always be a place for those ultra fun, super addictive titles. Now on a less positive note, Microsoft is killing off Altspace VR. This was another social application similar to Rec Room or VR Chat, and personally I've never even tried it and forgot it even existed. But with massive layoffs spreading across the tech industry and now finally hitting Microsoft, they've decided that this is one of the projects that they'll no longer support. The shutdown date has been set for March 10th, and if there's any digital assets you want to download from this game before it's too late, Microsoft has provided some information on how you could do so. Now I'm curious about how you guys feel about this. Did anyone out there actually use Altspace? I never hear anyone talk about it. Go ahead and let me know down in the comments if you had any experience with this game. But speaking of games, let's move into the absolutely amazing launch lineup for the PlayStation VR 2. We are less than a month away from getting our hands on this amazing new tech, and there will be 37 games available on the day of release. Now the naysayers or Quest fanboys do not have a leg to stand on here when they attempt to crap on this lineup. Not only is it launching with enhanced versions of some of the most popular VR games already out, it also has titles that were previously PCVR exclusive, and a slew of AAA quality brand new releases. Now the argument against this lineup that I most commonly hear is, well, most of these games are already on other platforms. And while that's definitely true, you have to understand that the PlayStation VR 2 will most likely be many individuals' first VR experience ever. So they're getting in with an amazing lineup of games, and the majority of which will have extremely improved graphics. But that's not enough for the VR enthusiasts out there. So on top of that, we have games like Gran Turismo 7, Resident Evil Village, and Horizon Call of the Mountain. Now if you are upgrading from the original PlayStation VR, there's even more good news. 10 titles have already pledged free upgrades from their original PlayStation VR 1 version, and this includes Puzzling Places, Song in the Smoke, Synth Riders, NFL Pro Era, Gran Turismo 7, Resident Evil Village, After the Fall, No Man's Sky, Pistol Whip, and Zenith. If you own any of these titles, you can already go ahead and download the PSVR 2 version right now. Now moving once again into Apple rumors, a report from Bloomberg, which historically has been extremely accurate when it comes to new VR hardware, states that Apple may be facing even more delays, but also working on a lower cost version of their upcoming AR headset. The $3,000 headset, packed with advanced technologies like an M2 chip and dedicated processor for AR and VR visuals, is still planning to be announced soon and released later this year. but the company is currently facing technological hurdles when it comes to making AR glasses. So instead, they'll be pushing back that product and working on a lower cost version of their mixed reality headset. This could release in either 2024 or 2025 with a price tag roughly around $1,000. Now, new trademark filings may have released the names of these products, including the Reality Pro and the Reality One. Now, I'm really curious to see the impact this headset has on the industry, because there's the potential here to either extremely push it forward or set it back if this product flops. And today's last topic is Update 49 for the Quest 2. For starters, we're getting a very welcome Do Not Disturb mode, which will silence all in-VR notifications while you're playing a game or application. Definitely not a huge update, but a welcome one, because I have wished for this in the past. But more importantly, there'll be updates to the parental supervision tools, something that's way overdue. A new Family Center website will be up soon, so parents won't need the MetaQuest application to adjust settings. And most importantly, teens no longer need to send a link to their parents saying, "Hey, please supervise me and control my settings." It now works in the opposite direction. Parents can send a link to their kids, and this should make the usage of parental controls much more prevalent. Now, there's a few additional items in this update, but before we get into that, I just want to talk about how I know the majority of my viewers could care less about version 49. We want more relevant features, and above all else, new software. And Quest headsets have been available for years now, so it's pretty late in the game to be getting these parental control updates. Even as a parent, I don't care about this too much, because my kids are too young to truly use VR. I do occasionally let them use it, but extremely sparingly, and always under my supervision. Now, in terms of young teenagers, it is truly important to regulate their online interactions, but there's only a small window of time where you need to be concerned. There's definitely some interactions that those between the ages of 13 and 16 should not be having, but by the time your child hits 17 and 18, parental controls won't be as relevant. Now, we're also getting updates to the home environments, which again, I could care less about. A new one titled Abstraction is on the way, which looks like living inside of a brightly lit painting, and there'll be updates to existing environments, which will allow you to jump to different hotspots or sit down in a virtual chair. Now, I'm just curious who's looking to spend more time in their home environment. Is it a feature that you guys use a lot and actually care about? If so, let me know down in the comments, because I usually spend as little time as possible in the home environment, and what I really want from Meta is some new high quality software. I'm going to be talking about this topic a lot more in the near future, but 2022 was a stagnation year for VR, and that's why all eyes are on the PlayStation VR 2 right now, because the community's begging for better quality games. Over the years, Meta has acquired 9 major VR studios, and we're all sitting here wondering where the heck are the games. So if that's a topic you're interested in, stay tuned, because I'm going to be diving deep into that later this week.
And that was today's video, brought to you by my dad, Mateo311. If you enjoyed it, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here,
Consider subscribing.
consider subscribing.
Consider subscribing.
Consider subscribing.
Consider subscribing. We'll see you guys on next time.
We'll see you guys on next time.